So guys, how many genders are there? Are there 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 100, 200, infinite? How many gender identities are there? And that is something that Senator John Kennedy asked the HRC President Kelley Robinson. And I'm going to bring you that clip and show you his question and the way she responded to that question. And then I'm going to comment to it afterwards. But hey guys, if you would, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Thanks.
And your answer to one of Senator Cruz's questions, and this is really a question, not a suggestion. Do I understand your position to be that there are two sexes, but there can be more than two genders?
I wouldn't even say two, and we've got Dr. Lopez here as well, but there's also the definition of intersex. I think that often in these conversations we're conflating sex and gender, and I do want to affirm here that trans women are women. That is their gender.
Okay, but I'm trying to understand. Do you make a distinction between sex and gender?
Yes, sir.
Okay, explain that. Just. Do you think there are more than two sexes?
I believe that there's a definition for intersex as well that I want to acknowledge. But sex is assigned at birth.
I'm just trying to understand. I'm thoroughly confused. So you're born, I'm talking about biology, male, female, and what else?
I believe that intersex is also acknowledged, but again, I'm not a doctor here. What I can
and
say
what does intersex mean?
Is that there's a difference between sex and gender, and I think in these conversations we're conflating the two.
Well, but I want to start with sex. Okay, there's male, there's female. When a baby's born, before the baby has had time to even have a sense of self, there's male, female, and intersex. There's a third.
I believe that is true, but I would defer to Dr. Lopez as I'm not a physician.
Okay. And how many genders are there?
I think the gender is expansive and the definitions are always growing. Today I can tell you, I talk to young people that talk about non-binary as...
More than five?
I think the gender is not a binary is what I'm trying to say.
Are there more than five genders? I'm just trying to understand. Are there more than five genders?
Well, I think that there was a time where women wearing pants didn't feel like it was appropriate for their gender, and yet I'm wearing pants today. I think that there are ways that we express our gender that are expansive.
Are there more than five?
I wouldn't subject myself to naming how many genders there are, but what I can say is that gender is a reflection. Excuse me?
There's an infinite number of genders?
I think depending on your culture, there are a lot of different genders.
You know what, guys, man, we got to be honest. Nobody would have taken this seriously. 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago, nobody would have been. So we have to understand that we should not be taking this serious now. Not one single bit. And that's something we've really got to wrap our heads around. That this entire thing is made up. It is 100% fake. Again, there are two genders, male, female. Yes, there are intersex people. There are people that are born with a condition. Again, that's a very small number of people, somewhere around 1%, thereabouts. But that is what that is, and that's people that were born with a condition. We understand that, we know that they were born outside the norm. But you know what? This whole idea that you can identify as whatever you want, that's just a bunch of made up, childish nonsense. And we have to be honest about that. That is what that is. Again, these are people, adults, talking about what they identify as. Not some kids sitting in a schoolyard, saying they're Superman or Wonder Woman or whatever. No, these are grown-ass adults talking seriously about what they identify as and how many different genders you can have. That kind of stuff is just flat out ridiculous. And we have to be honest about it, though we have to be true about that. That is made up 100% of it. It's all in your imagination. It's not real. It's not real one single bit. And so again, I'm sorry if I hurt people's feelings, but that is what it is. It's made up. It's a bunch of made up BS. And we are told to take this seriously. And if you don't take it seriously, then, you're some kind of bigot. You're some kind of homophobe or transphobe or whatever. No, you're not. No, you're not. Again, people can identify as whatever they want to identify as. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. But the fact is, man, nobody else has to affirm your identity to you. Nobody does. Nobody does. So we have also got to understand, man, that we all know the difference between men and women. And we know that men have a biological advantage when it comes to sports. We understand that. We know that. So again, let's not be stupid. Let's not be stupid. Again, like the best female runner would come in like 1,000th place of, the winning place. They're high school boys that beat them out. So again, we've got to understand that we know that difference. We know the difference between men and women, and we know this whole gender identity thing is something that is literally made up. Literally. But hey guys, if you would, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Thanks.
You son of a